Did you hear the Chief Peak? And today we're going to be going through a 25-minute full body resistance band workout focused on beginners. For this workout, we're going to go through a warm up, the actual workout, and then a cool down. For the workout, we're going to go through 6 exercises for 3 sets each. Our working time is 30 seconds. Our break time is 20 seconds. And after each of the exercises, we will then take a 30-second extended break. During this workout, I'm also going to be showing the modifications seated. So if you want to do the workouts seated, you can also do that as well. If you like this workout, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to work. We're about 20 seconds until we get started with our warm-up. If you have a fitness tracking watch, be sure to start your workout now. Our first exercise we're going to go into is going to be bodyweight squats. So what we're going to do here, feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to put our hands out, drop down, come back up, just like that. If you need to use a bench or a chair, that's totally fine. You're going to drop down, come back up. Drop down, come back up. So we're sitting for just a second, coming back up. Here we go. Trying to keep our back straight and our chest out. As we come down, we're here, just like this. We're not doing this. So we got arm circles. Starting with small circles, moving in to larger circles. Go nice and easy. All right, reverse it. If you need to do this seated, you can. Chest openers. So we're opening up the chest here, slight bend in the elbows, locking that in. If you want to kind of go a little bit higher, feel it in the chest. A little bit lower. When I go low, I kind of feel it in the shoulders a little more. When I'm like right here, that's when I really feel it in my chest right here. So we're going into sumo squats, feet wider, dropping down, coming up. So we're going to kind of point those toes out just a little bit on this one. Drop down as far as we can. Feeling everything stretch out right in here. If you can't go down all the way, that's totally fine. Especially during the warm-up. Here we go. We're going into arm swings. Forwards and backwards. It's nice and easy here. Just trying to warm everything up. We got RDLs coming up next. So feet are going to be about 8-10 inches apart. Slight bend in the knees. And we're hinging at the hips, sinking the butt back, feeling it stretch out. Coming up. As we come down, we're keeping the back straight. We're not bending, so we're not doing this. We're not doing that. We're here. We're going to pull, rotate, press right here. So come up, external rotation, press all the way up, come back down, internal rotation, all the way down. Here we go. We're going to get our feet a little bit wider for the next one. We got trunk twist, so we're just rotating at the core here. There we go, nice and easy. If you want to kind of start to pivot at the feet, you can. You might need to I always end up bringing my feet much closer together. I've got 30-second break, grab some water if you need it. We're going to go into rows next. Seated rows, if you want to use the ground, you can. So I have a light band here, a heavier band here, and then just in case I have a medium band. So this is 30, 40, 50 pounds for me, but it's going to change for you. So what we're going to do here is wrap it around the foot right here, and then we're going to come up right here, pull up just like that. There you go. So what I might suggest is starting with your light band or your medium band. See how it goes for the first set, and then you can make adjustments. If you decide to go with your heavy band like I did, that's fine. You can go a little bit slower, take a little break right here, give it a couple seconds, pull back if it's a little too heavy. So another option here is that you can actually, I'm going to end up dropping my band on the ground. Is when you're doing this with break right here, but I'm going to demonstrate this. You can actually put that foot up just like this to do your movement as well. So we got 10 seconds left on our break. You need to change bands, do so. Also make sure that your band is fully wrapped around the foot. Notice how no matter which way I pull mine, it doesn't move. That's what we're looking for. So if you just kind of wrap it around the sole of your shoe, you're asking for it to come off. A lot of times what happens is you point your toe like this, it's going to slide up the top and it could come back at you. So make sure if you have it like that, point your toe. There we go. 20-second break. We're going into our final set of this. If you want to sit on the ground, which is what we typically do during the workouts, you're just going to be seated, both feet out, sitting nice and tall, back straight, chest out. Couple seconds. Here we go. Coming back. Our palms should be facing towards the legs. Pulling back to whatever feels natural here. There we go. We're not holding on to the handles. Notice how my handles are just hanging. Let's get one more. There we go. 30 seconds. We're going in to hex squats. Again, you might be better served by starting with your light band if you're just getting into it and then making changes after the first set. And you see how you feel. So for hex squat, what we're going to do is have our feet right about shoulder width apart. Hands are just going to stay by the side. We're going to drop down. I mean, choke up a little bit, come back up. So our back is going to stay straight. Chest out, head up. We're right here. Just like that. We're not doing this. We're not coming down like this and bending our back. If you need to use the bench, that's fine. I'm down, sit down, come back up. If you need to take a little break on the bench, that's fine. If you want to do a little tap and go, that's fine. 20 seconds. Make sure to make some changes to the bands if you need to. There's all kinds of little ways you can kind of make small adjustments to make it easier, make it tougher, and just slowly kind of creep through until you can just fully do the movement and start adding more and more resistance. Here we go. So again, seated is right here, just dropping down. So the biggest modification would be like no band, full sit, lean back, come forward. And then what we do is transition just more a tap. We're just tapping our butt to the bench, coming back up. And then final one would just be no bench. There we go. Exhale as we come up, inhale as we drop down. We're going to go into hex squats again, last one. So for my final one, I'm just going to do normal. Couple seconds. You step away from that bench a little bit. There we go, dropping down, chest out, head up, back straight. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. There we go. If you need to take a little break at the top, just kind of hang out for a couple seconds, catch your breath, that's totally fine. You can do every other rep with me if you need to. Maybe every 2 or 3, whatever it might be. You go 30-second break. We're going in to chest press. So you can do this standing right here. So what I like to do is I hold my band like this, not like that. Right here, it ends up pulling. We don't want that. So the part that's going to be stretching, I have coming off my palm, and I just kind of pinch it in between my index finger and thumb, pressing out, coming back. I'm going to grab all that. There we go. So we're pressing out, coming back. Pressing out, coming back. There we go. If you want to sit down and do this, you totally can. There you go. Just keep the back nice and straight, chest out. Inhale as we bring our hands back in. Exhale as we push out. There we go. Good controlled movements. Going back into it. If you want to do push-ups, you can. You can also stack multiple bands together. So that's what I'll do. Oftentimes I'll have 2 or 3 bands stacked together to get the resistance I want. So don't think you just have to use one band, because you don't. You can use many. I call that the band stack method. And sometimes I'll just keep the bands connected, but I won't use one of them during an exercise. I think we have a YouTube video on it. You can YouTube it, band stack method, on our channel. So another option here I'm going to show, let me get back here, I'm going to have to move my bench around, is that you can actually do like a band resisted chest press or push up on your bench. So what I'll do is I'll take a knee, then I'm going to drop down and put my hands on the bench, kind of pinning the band to the bench. And then what we'll do is we'll come here and then up. Move my hands a little closer. So right here. There we go. This is kind of a more advanced. Maybe you can't do push-ups. Also, you can do this move without a band at all. It's kind of the next segue to on the ground push-ups, just like that. And then you can slowly work to on the ground. We're going into shrug high pulls next. Get some water if you need it. So shrug high pulls. I believe I can do this. Start with a lighter weight. Our feet are going to be about shoulder width apart. Right here. Oh, actually, I'm going to choke up on my bands. So I'm going to hold around with a band and the fabric meet. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shrug. And then we're going to kick our elbows back and pull our hands up. So shrug. And then this high pull is right here. So shrug, high pull. Shrug, high pull. If this is too difficult for you, or maybe you feel pain, what you can do is just a normal standard shrug, which is going to be get your feet a little bit wider to eat up some of the band. And then from here, we're just going to do this. Just like that. So this is a standard shrug. We get our feet wide because if you're just right here, there's literally like never any tension on the band doing a traditional shrug. Unless, of course, you end up just choking up and grabbing right here. Then you can do that. So shrug, kick the elbows back, drag the hands up the body, come back down. Shrug, high pull. Shrug, high pull. So I have the bands actually in between my index finger and middle finger right now. Oh. There we go. Going back into it. Again, remember you can do normal standard shrug just like this if you need. Couple seconds till we go back into it. Go shrug and high pull. It starts to get a little too tough. You don't have to go all the way up. You can kind of stop one way, or if you're holding onto the bands like I am, then you can just do standard shrug, maybe just widen your feet out, let the band kind of go up under there if the high pull gets a little too tough. Shrug, high pull. Shrug, high pull. Let me show you from the side. One last one. Here we go. Got RDLs coming up. Get some water. We're going back into some legs. It's going to be legs with some back. So for these, I'm actually, well, I'll do it on my mat. I feel like my bench is a little too close, but I'll be out in front, so it won't matter. So we're going to do feet 6-8 inches apart. Make sure to choke up on your bands. Right here, slight bend in the knees. We're hinging at the hips, sinking the butt back. So coming down, hands stay right up against the legs right here. Come back up. As we come down, it's probably best to keep your head looking out. That's going to keep your chest pushed out as well and the back straight. If you end up looking down, you'll want to bend at the lower back, and we don't want that. So right here, come up. Here, stretch out the hamstrings, come up. So we should be feeling this right back here. I feel it big time in my glutes. So 20-second break. Take a seat, relax for a second. If you're breathing heavy, try to focus on slowing your breathing down, controlling your breathing. A couple seconds, let's get ready. Here you go. Dropping down. Here's when I always end up choking up on it, right there. I'm back. Drop down, stretch out. I'm back. So every rep, we're trying to stretch out just a little bit further, but not by bending our back. So we're trying to stretch out the hamstrings, which is the back of the legs. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Come up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Come up. Let's get our last one. Stretch it out and up. Here we go. We got one more set. If you need to make changes to your bands, be sure to do so. If you're breathing heavy, control the breathing. Remember, when we're doing this exercise, we're inhaling as we bend down and exhaling as we come back up. Here we go. So inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Here we go. Let's do one more. There we go. We got shoulder press coming up. 30-second break here. Grab your light band to start this off. So if you don't want to use a bench or a seat, what you could do is drop down, have the band in between your legs, and drop down onto the band with the knee, and then we're going to press up like this. If you want to sit down, that's totally fine. We'll have the band behind us. We'll sit on it with our butt. Don't hold the handles. You can hold a little bit. If you can, hold a little bit lower right here. We're going to hold there. Because what's going to happen is if you hold on to the handles, you're going to have no tension at the bottom of the movement. So right here, you'd have nothing. We don't want that to happen. We want tension the entire range of motion here. So that might involve choking up even further, all the way down onto the band, right there. Keeping the back straight, chest out. Here we go. So what I was saying is if you hold on to the handles while you're seated, right here, there's no tension. I don't really have any good tension until I'm almost through the movement. So we're not going to get much out of that. So choke up, however you might need to. Sit nice and tall, press up, come down. If it's a little too tough still, you can always opt for singles, or you can get a little bit closer to the actual handle. So our bands, the ACHV Peak bands, have big rings on them. So you can kind of grab right there if you need. That's going to make it a little bit easier. If you have a lighter band, you might want to switch to that if it's too tough. Exhale up, inhale down. Got one more. One more set. I'm going to choke up. If it's a little too light, just choke up on the bands. That's going to make it tougher. Couple seconds. Here we go. Palms face out away from us. Our elbows are slightly in front of the shoulders here. Let me see if I can kind of turn sideways. Yeah, here we go. So we're right here. Elbows in front of the shoulders. We're not back here like this. We're not way back there. We're right here, driving up in front of us. One more. There we go. Get some water. It's on to the cool down. Way to go. So I'm going to move this bench out of the way. My squat rack just became my band rack over here. So our first exercise we're going to go into is going to be good mornings. Similar to our RDLs, except this time we are bending at the lower back. So as we come down, once we get here, we're going to bend at the lower back. So start off with the RDL, straight back, stretch out the hamstrings, and then bend at the lower back. Hang out for a second, come back up, straighten the back, stand up. Straight back, bend the back, and then come back up, straighten the back, all the way. Probably be able to get one more here. There we go. 10 seconds here. We're going to go into hip flexor stretch, left side. So what we're going to do, right leg is forward, drop down on to a knee. If you want, have your bench close by so you can use it if you need to kind of hold on to it. What we're doing is sinking the hips to that front heel, pushing forward, feeling everything stretch out. What you might do is also put your hands up, really feel it stretch out in the core as well. If you want to go a little further, what you could do is hands up and then lean away from the knee that is down, really feeling a nice stretch. We're going to switch sides here. So left leg is forwards, right knee down, sink the hips to that front heel. Don't forget to breathe. We're sitting nice and tall here. We're not leaned over like this because that's going to reduce the stretch. So we want to be nice and tall. That's why we get additional stretch when we come up right here, because we're lengthening everything. And then we're lengthening even further as we lean away. Don't forget to breathe. Try to keep pushing a little deeper into the stretch. We're going into seated shoulder stretch here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be on our butt. Palms are back behind us, fingers point away, and then we're just going to rock our knees out away from us. It's going to kind of scoot our butt actually out away from us by rocking our knees, keeping the back nice and straight. So we don't want to do this and then end up scooting away. We're going to keep the back straight, chest out, and then scoot the butt away, stretching the shoulders out. Breathe. All right, we're going to go into a Sumo Squat Sit. So what we're going to do here, feet a little wider, toes pointed. And we're going to try to drop down as far as we can. Hold it as long as you can. If you have to kind of start like this, that's fine. Just try not to use too much arms to kind of hold this position. Let your legs do the work. Feel everything stretch out as long as you can. If you need to come up, take a break, stand up, give it a couple seconds, drop back down. What I like to do is kind of actually use my knees, or use my elbows to push my knees out. Here we go. We're going into hamstring stretch. So similar to the RDL, except this time we're going to have straight knees. If you feel like you need to have bent knees, you can. This time we're going to come down and then hold right here, feeling it stretch out in the hamstrings. So if you feel like you can't do, maybe your knees have issues or they feel a little bit weak and you can't have the straight knees, that's fine. Slight bend. You're still going to feel the stretch back here. You might end up feeling a little bit lower, but that's fine. Keeping the back straight. There we go. We are done. Great job today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. If you have any questions about the workout or future workouts, be sure to leave a comment down below. See you guys.